The parable of the lost sheep. They said it was foolish to leave 99 to save one. But I said that one lost soul is worth a lifetime of searching. Before you watch this story, I ask you to think about this. What is a single life worth? As you listen, do not just see the lost sheep, but feel the relentless search for it. Prepare your heart to understand that every soul is infinitely precious. I sat upon a gentle slope, a place where the earth rises with a soft promise before giving way to the vast green valley below. The afternoon sun, warm and generous, poured over the landscape, painting the hills with a golden light that turned the blades of grass into 1,000 sparkling jewels. Below, a shepherd moved among his flock, a figure of quiet purpose in a scene of perfect pastoral peace. This was the ordinary life of a shepherd and his sheep, a rhythm of patient guidance, of unwavering dedication, and of counting them under the starlight as each day gave way to the cool embrace of night. This shepherd was a simple man, clad in a tunic worn thin by sun and wind, his hands calloused from the staff he leaned on. Yet in his heart, he possessed a truth that the most learned scholars of Jerusalem had long forgotten. To him, his flock was not a number. It was not a commodity to be bought and sold. It was not a measure of his success or his wealth. It was a family. He knew each one, not by a tag or a mark, but by its distinct voice, the unique pattern of its fleece, the way it moved, the way it ate. He knew the one with the limp that needed extra care, the one with the playful spirit that loved to wander a little too far, the one that was shy and hid behind the rest. He had given them names, a truth the world would have scoffed at. A sheep was a sheep. A life was a life. And in my eyes, he was a living parable of my own heart. He had brought them to this pasture, a place of safety and abundance, and a profound, quiet contentment settled in his soul. His work was his devotion. He was a guardian of lives, a protector of the vulnerable. He was a man who understood that his duty was to the individual, not just the collective. I watched as he guided them toward a stream, his staff a gentle extension of his will. He was the rock, the constant in their simple lives. This was a life of simple goodness, a life that the scribes and Pharisees, who were now gathering around me with their self-righteous questions, could never fully comprehend. For the world around us and for those men saw things differently. They saw only the numbers. The flock was a statistic, a testament to prosperity. The 99 were what mattered. The 99 were safe, accounted for, and present. Their minds were calculating the value of the many. And in that cold, practical calculation, the value of the one was utterly lost. They would have seen a shepherd who spent his life on a single sheep as a fool, a man of poor judgment, a man who didn't understand the first thing about business or life. They had no concept of a love that was so expansive, so limitless that it would sacrifice the security of the whole for the sake of a single, lost soul. And so as the sun began its gentle descent, my purpose became clear. For as the world was busy counting what it had, I was about to reveal the infinite value of what was lost. The peace shattered not with a dramatic sound, but with a quiet, terrifying absence. The first signs were so subtle they would have been missed by any ordinary eye. The shepherd had begun to gather his flock, his voice a low, reassuring murmur as they funneled through the narrow gate of the pen. 97, 98, 99. A profound, silent space filled the air where the 100th should have been. The number was one short. One was missing. The shepherd's face, so recently a portrait of contentment, now held the shadow of a deep and restless worry. He scanned the horizon, his heart a drum against his ribs. He knew the flock's every sound, but he was listening for one that wasn't there. The tiny, desperate bleating of a lost lamb. My disciples, who had been listening to me speak, saw the situation with a simple human logic. To them, it was a minor setback, a negligible loss. They would have reasoned that 1 out of 100 was an acceptable casualty. It was a simple matter of odds. A shepherd's duty was to protect the flock, to secure the safety of the many. Let the one go, their minds would have whispered. The risk is too great to endanger the 99. They were good men, but their thinking was still bound by the laws of this world. They did not yet understand the heart of the shepherd, the heart that could not rest while one of his own was in peril. They could not grasp a love that was so fierce, so relentless that it would risk everything for a single lost life. The shepherd's soul was a battlefield. He could choose to be a man of logic, a man of reason. a man who understood the laws of risk and reward. He could have reasoned that the 99 were in danger, that to leave them would be to invite disaster. But the shepherd was a man of love, a man who understood the profound value of a single lost soul. The lost sheep was more than a statistic. It was a cherished individual, a part of his family. He knew that when sheep stray, they do not simply wander a short distance. They wander into the desolate places, the deep ravines, the craggy rocks where they can become hopelessly trapped and vulnerable. The night was coming, and with it the predators would awaken. The one was in mortal danger. In that one I saw every lost soul I had come to save. The tax collector, the prostitute, the one who had strayed from the faith, the one who was sick and alone. The scribes and the Pharisees who were watching me would have expected me to speak a blessing over the 99, to celebrate their safety and obedience. But I was about to tell them a story of a shepherd who would do the unthinkable. The quiet, unsettling silence of the missing sheep was the crack that was about to break their understanding of everything. It was the moment where the love of God would be revealed, not in the safety of the many, but in the relentless pursuit of the one. The shepherd's breaking point was not a moment of despair, but of profound, unwavering resolve. He turned his back on the safe pen of the 99 and began to walk back into the gathering dusk. He did not send a servant or a hired hand. He went himself. He had every reason in the world to stay, every logical argument to abandon the one and protect the many. The night was cold, the terrain was treacherous, and the predators were lurking. He knew the risk he was taking. His life was on the line for a single sheep that was, in the eyes of the world, worthless. I watched him go, and my heart was with him. I saw his determination, his courage, his relentless love. He was not a man driven by duty, but by a love that was boundless and unconditional. He walked into the darkness, his voice a low, gentle call, a sound that was both a cry of hope and a promise of rescue. He searched the crevices and the ravines, the places where a lost sheep would go to hide. He did not grow weary. He did not give up. His love was a fire that burned brightly in the cold darkness of the night. His pursuit was not a burden, but an act of worship. Every step he took into the darkness was a testament to the infinite value of that one lost life. He called out its name, a name only he knew. He spoke to the silent hills, a whisper in the wind that was a promise of salvation. He faced the dangers head-on, his staff held high, ready to defend against any predator that would dare to stand in his way. He was not a man of great physical strength, but his spirit was a fortress of love and resolve. He was a living testament to a love that is not bound by fear or practicality. He was the very embodiment of my own heart. And then he heard it. A faint, desperate bleating from a deep, thorny ravine. The sheep was trapped, its wool tangled and its body bruised and scraped. It was bleeding in a desperate, lonely cry, a sound of pure terror and hopelessness. The shepherd's heart broke for it, not with sadness, but with a profound and overwhelming love. He did not scold it for its foolishness. He did not admonish it for its recklessness. He simply saw a lost, hurting soul. He had come to the breaking point, and in that moment, he had found the purpose of his journey. He knelt down in the dirt and the thorns, his hands gently untangling the sheep, and he looked into its terrified eyes. He spoke its name, and the sheep fell silent. It was found. The moment the shepherd found the lost sheep, a profound and dramatic shift occurred. He did not just rescue it, he embraced it. He did not just free it from the thorns, he lifted it onto his shoulders. The sheep's small, trembling body was not a burden, it was a treasure. The journey back was not a chore, but a victory lap. The shepherd was not weary. His face, once worried, now shone with a pure, unadulterated joy that his friends and neighbors could not understand. He had found what was lost, and in finding it, he had found his true purpose. The world would no longer see the lost as worthless, but as precious. They would no longer see the search as a fool's errand, but as a divine pursuit. He was a man who understood the very truth of my heart, that I had not come for the healthy, but for the sick. Not for the found, but for the lost. His act of compassion became a living parable, a testament to the boundless love that will go to any length to bring one lost soul back home. The purpose of this parable was not just to tell a story, it was to reveal the very heart of God. I told this story to the Pharisees and the scribes, the very men who criticized me for welcoming outcasts and sinners. They believed I should only associate with the righteous, the 99. But I was showing them that my mission was to seek out the lost, the broken, the one who had strayed. I told them that when a shepherd finds his lost sheep, he rejoices. And so I said, there is more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons. My kingdom is not a kingdom of numbers, but a kingdom of hearts. My love is not something to be earned or deserved. It is given freely and relentlessly. I am the shepherd and you are the sheep. If you are lost, if you have strayed into the desolate places of your life, I will leave the 99 and come after you. My purpose is to find you, to rescue you, and to bring you back to the safety of my fold. The closing impact of this parable is not just in the words I spoke that day, but in the countless lives it has changed forever. It is a story that brings hope to the lonely, courage to the lost, and a renewed sense of purpose to the weary. It teaches us that no matter how far we have strayed, we are never beyond the reach of a loving shepherd who will not rest until we are found. The shepherd's act of leaving the 99 was not an act of foolishness. It was a demonstration of profound wisdom. It revealed that my love is not bound by logic or reason, but is boundless and relentless. It is a love that will leave all to find one. And it is a love that will celebrate the finding of the one with a joy that is more powerful than any earthly celebration. So as I look upon the world, I don't see a faceless crowd. I see individuals, each one a precious soul. I am still the shepherd. I am still searching. For you are the one and you are worth a lifetime of searching. Com certeza. Aqui está uma mensagem de Jesus para os ouvintes do canal, baseada na parábola da ovelha perdida. My beloved children, I want you to understand the true heart behind the story you have heard. The world may see leaving 99 to save one as foolish, a risk that is not worth taking. But I tell you, every single one of you is infinitely precious to me, and your value is not a calculation of numbers. Your soul is a unique, irreplaceable jewel in my eyes, and my heart will never rest while you are lost. I am the shepherd who will leave the safety of the fold and walk into the darkness to find you. The thorns, the dangerous ravines, the treacherous terrain, none of it matters when your life is on the line. My pursuit is not a duty, but a relentless act of love. There is no risk I will not take, no distance I will not travel, just to hear the faintest bleating of your soul in distress. When I find you, I will not scold you for wandering away or condemn you for your foolishness. My only thought will be one of pure and unadulterated joy. I will lift you onto my shoulders and carry you back to the fold, not as a burden, but as a treasure. Your bruised and weary soul will find rest in my arms, a testament to a love that is stronger than any fear. The celebration that follows will be a profound one. There is more joy in heaven over one lost sheep that is found than over 99 that never strayed. My kingdom is not a place for the perfect, but a place for the repentant. Your return is a victory that the entire heavenly host will celebrate. For in your homecoming my heart is made complete. So I ask you now, do not hide in the darkness any longer. Do not believe the lie that you are not worth the search. You are the one I have been looking for all along, and my arms are open, ready to carry you home. Your purpose is not to find your way back on your own, but to simply let yourself be found. The shepherd never gave up on the one sheep. Now take this with you. No matter how far you have strayed, you are the sheep who is worth a lifetime of searching. Let this story be a reminder that you are seen, you are loved, and you are always worthy of being found.